well. If we are going to see an attack, I would think it's going to be after Combat Shield finishes. Here comes a third command center. It looks like it will be taking the typical third base here instead of all the way over at the 8 o'clock position.
Still a very, very early third base and a very fast armory by Select. Looks like he is aware that given this timing, Mutalisk could be popping out soon, but I don't think Select realizes quite how soon. As Mutalisk are about to finish, Select has a couple of options. He can try to deal pressure to the Zerg. We see that there are really not that many Zerglings on the map, at least not very much when you think about how easily Blue Flame kills them. He might just pull all those Marines back, try to push forward with his Blue Flame, a brilliantly planted scan. Going to allow him to clean up those creep tumors. Dignitas Select will have to pull back, and it looks like, oh, he's going to go for the third. The third is finished. But the Mutalisks, does he have enough? It looks like, wow, this is a lot of Marines for Select.
This is very, very similar to 6Jack's Terran, who of course won the Latin American Invitational. He always moved out with this and denied the third base. The Banelings are coming in, but the Blue Flame Hellions do not connect. Oh! They get a huge amount of Marines and Hellions. But is he going to be able to snipe this third hatchery? No, it does not look like it.
Wow.
The Blue Flame Hellions will get picked up here by the Lynx.
Miracle defense there by Sheth. Was going to lose so much, but instead threw down the almost instant 3 Banelings, stayed alive. Amazingly, we do see the structure armor being researched for Select. That is a surprising choice. It may actually be an error.
Now, what would he actually be going for if he did not mean to select that, Sean? Possibly just the infantry weapons, level 2?
That I would imagine it would be one of those two. We already see the armory down right now getting those upgrades. The Mutalisk picking off the tech lab. That means no
the
stim.
Thors!
Oh, the Thors!
Oh, they get one volley off. Didn't do too much damage there, but Sheth will have to fall back.
And now Select has to figure out a way to get stim. Stim takes 3 minutes to finish, and you will need that for your big push, and it looks like Sheth realizes that there's no stim. He's going to get an infestation pit. The infestation pit, whether it's for Hive Tech or for the infestors, you have quite a bit of time where you can't really use it. You're waiting for pathogen glands to finish. You're waiting for the infestors to finish. You need time to be able to get that building started and finished, and right now time is exactly what Sheth has. He's taking himself a 4th base and is looking very solid going into the late game.
Sheth was using these mutas to check to see if Select had actually gotten a 3rd base started. He did not find it, but you see the command center lifted right now. It will drop down and become a planetary in just a couple of seconds. As now Select will be moving out with this Thor Siege Tank Marine Army. He still does not have stim though, like you have noted, Sean.
You don't see any burrow yet, so these 2 Banelings are actually rebels. Looks like they will be taken out at the north position. We do see that there are a lot of Overlords continuing to spread along the top side. The vision coverage is great by Sheth. Again, oh no, looks like he's trying to pick off this one single Thor. He's clustering them up with that Thor, and it gets taken down. That means that this one single siege tank is going to be very vulnerable. Oh, this Ridge working against Select so much. Desperately trying to right-click on that one turret, and he does get it down. And keep in mind, it does have that structure armor, so they do not take very much damage against those Mutalisks.
Now the mutas have started damaging these supply depots. There isn't anything in range right now to really deal with those. If both doors were down on the low ground, cannot stem over there with the Marines, so they will continue to do just a huge amount of damage to all these depots. Meanwhile, if we look at the production tab, we have pathogen glands about to finish. A huge amount of Banelings there in the middle of the map. They do indeed have speed. Carpet upgrade level 1 about to finish as well. If we look at the main base of Sheth, he's still, oh, nope, there he goes, getting the Hive.
You know what's impressive to me is that with this Terran building armor, there's actually very little damage being dealt to the supply depots of Select. The turrets don't die too quickly. It seems like an anti-Mutalisk procedure. I mean, whether it was intentional or not, it's working out quite nicely against that high amount of Mutalisks. Now we see Sheth planting down some spine crawlers in the center of the map. This is another way of saying, I want to delay your inevitable push until I get my Broodlords or my Hive Tech done.
And the Hive is about halfway complete. 2 more extractors, of course, being added on over here at the 4th base of Sheth. And Select is now moving out. It's going to start by denying these creep tumors in the center of Shakura's plateau. And if Select can win this, he will win it all. If Sheth wins this, we restart the series.
And there's the scan. It looks like Sheth needs to be very careful here. Stim is finally done for Select, and we are seeing Select be very patient with his siege tanks. There's the drop coming up. We don't see any infestors on the field yet for Sheth. He has gotten no infestors. Does he even have the pathogen gland upgrade? He does. But it looks like this could be some big, big pressure right now for Select.
Oh, that is quite a bit of banelings being marked from Sheth. Is Select going to be able to have his tanks in place? He does. He's waiting for these banelings to finish before he actually engages. The mutas are north. The siege tanks are somewhat alone right now. The Thor is making sure that he is protecting them. Still not sure when he wants to move in. A big volley coming out of that Thor.
Looks like the missile turret will be taken down in the center. All the banelings are still holding steady. The third base taking a ton of damage, and now we see the Mutalisk spread by the Zerg player, but it looks like Terran is going to be able to work his way in and force them back. The third does stay alive narrowly for Select.
Oh, and here's the big attack from Sheth in the center of the map. Not too many Marines remain, but there is quite a bit of siege tanks, but that looks like it's not going to be enough for Sheth. He's just steamrolling over a
he pulls back.
He is going to be returning back to Sean's mention. That is so many Marines there, even after such a big attack from Sheth.
We see Select just making Marines as best he can, and he miscontrols the Marines, running a bunch right into a pack of those deadly banelings. Select now spreading out those siege tanks again, continue to advance forward. The solid Terran player Select showing true form here, able to advance farther and farther, but the macro of Sheth seems a little bit too great, trying to pull back to those stronger Marines, both of them so low on life. The siege tank sieges up. Select continuing to try to advance, now beginning to spread, but the Mutalisk delaying numbers are too great with no medevacs on the field. Select is all the way back to his natural expansion.
Yeah, 8 infestors, I believe, just popped. The corruptors are about to pop as well.
And there it is!
We're going to a second best of 3, Sean.
Into best of 3 number 2. So that means that Sheth has successfully allowed himself to play more games on a chance to win that first place prize.
Yep. So
it looks like we will have to do the reselection of the maps. The players will have to re-vote for how they want to be playing. Select sitting there going, yeah, indeed, you have to play one more best of 3. I always wonder if the player realized for a split second, maybe I won. No, it's another best of 3. That's right, we are resetting the series to 0-0 because Sheth from the lower bracket just won his first best of 3 against Select, who came from the winner's bracket.
Yeah, so we're going to have to see if it's going to be the same maps. I'm not too sure if the players will choose anything other than the maps. If we look real quick at the vetoes from the map gnome, Tal'Darim and Typhon for Select, and Sheth taking Xel'Naga and Backwater out.
Yeah, so I don't think that that's very unusual to eliminate both Typhon and Backwater because very few tournaments use them, although Select does have a good bit of experience on Backwater Gulch due to the fact that it was in the NASL map pool that he played in. So what we're going to be doing is taking a brief break as we let the players reset up their next match, take a brief breather between the game, and it makes you wonder, what would have happened if Select had lost that first best of 3 to Sheth and Sheth had advanced to the finals. I mean, Select looking a little shaky in that winner's game that initially let him advance to top 2.
That is true. So, Sean, you want to do some Twitter questions while we wait?
Yeah, we will be taking some Twitter questions in the break while the players are taking themselves a fast breather. If you'd like to step into the action, definitely tweet #SC2BI. And, you know, Select, I think, is really starting to feel that pain of if I'm too aggressive at the start and Zerg defends, then I'm almost playing from behind right from minute 5.
Yeah. So we have our first question from Wave of Babies